How's it going, everyone? The Trout 91 here for the gameplay section of Gun in 60 Seconds, and this time we were looking at the STG-44, and I want to thank you for joining me on this video if you have found your way over here. Now, this gun in the beta was an absolute monster. There were no guns that could come close to touching it. There were some decent guns in the beta, but no gun could come close to the STG. You pretty much just saw everyone using it. And at the start of the game, you saw a lot of people using their unlocked tokens to pick this bad boy up. And I'm not surprised because it is a great gun to use. And it still is a very good gun, even for all the monstrously powerful guns like the bar at the start of the game or the FG-42. The STG was still able to compete in a lot of situations, and I quite enjoyed using it throughout the first month or so that we've had this game. Now, there was a recent patch. This is in December that I'm recording this video, so it might have changed whenever you might be watching this later on in the year or in the future and whatever. But there was a patch that actually nerfed the FG-42. So the STG has found its way almost at the top of the pyramid when it comes to the guns' abilities and where you would rank them and which gun is the best, etc., etc. It really has moved significantly up the pyramid despite not really having any changes made to it. That's because it was already a very solid gun. Very moderate rate of fire, very moderate damage, very good hip fire, very good on the move, very easy to use iron sights, not a lot of recoil on it, and in general was just a great gun to use. It was so versatile, and when I said in the video previous, you don't really have to worry about what attachments you're using because any attachment you put on it will basically benefit. I still think that's very true. Obviously, there are ones that outshine it, in my opinion, but I think you could put any attachment on this gun, and you will have a gun that absolutely smashes people 5 ways from Sunday. Now, enough about that. Getting onto the gun itself. I tend to always go with the infantry division just because I think on a rifle you probably should go with the infantry division. You always get that rifle bayonet, which helps you if you are surprised by someone coming up close and personal. The additional attachment is great if you want to stick a load of attachments on it. Obviously, it makes the gun much better. You get extra magazines, and you obviously move significantly faster while aiming down sights, which is a big one for me because I like to do a lot of that in the game. You're not going to get much out of airborne. You're not going to get much out of armored or mountain or expeditionary. I say mountain is probably the only other one you want to go for, and that's purely just to stay off the radar or away from kill streaks, or if you want to silently move in S&D. You'll see a lot of pros put on mountain with whatever gun they feel like you're running on that just to help them not be heard by enemies, and you can do a lot of sound whoring in this game, so it is one to think about if you are someone who likes the STG a lot. But the rest of them, I think, apart from 1 or 2 perks that you get from the classes, it's probably not that useful. I think maybe like significantly less explosive damage in the armored might be useful if you're playing objective game modes, or the expeditionary, the fact that you can take extra tactical and lethals if you need them. I just don't think they're that useful, and even the airborne, I don't think you're going to be running a lot with this gun. I think infantry kind of negates the need to constantly run around with this gun anyway. Basic training, I'm getting this one out of the way because it kind of sets up the gun for you. I'll probably always go with primed, the extra attachment, and flinch slightly less when you're shot. I know that primed kind of has been patched somewhat recently, and it's not as effective as it once was, but it's still a very good solid one. The only other one I would probably say is to go with lookout. You could probably get away with espionage, or you could get away with hustle, but I think for the most part you want to probably go with primed on this gun pretty much every time you pick it up. Rapid fire is great for this because obviously the rate of fire is pretty decent on this gun, and because it does have fairly low recoil as it is, sticking on rapid fire just makes it an absolute machine. It cuts through people so easily, and I was running it a lot at the start of the game, and I think I got that idea from watching a few people play with this gun and a few other guns, is the fact that rapid fire does benefit it so damn much. It is probably one of the best attachments you can put on the gun. I would then go with grip because although it does have low recoil, when you do put on something like rapid fire, you will get that increase in recoil a little bit, and over distance it can be a little bit difficult to just pick your shots that little bit more accurately, and in a game like this where almost every shot counts, you want to have that little bit more accuracy. Quick draw is great, just for that quicker ADS time. If you are playing a little bit slow, it's just helpful to have the ability to aim in a lot quicker. And advanced rifling, it's an attachment I didn't think was very useful at the start of the game. I found absolutely no use for it. I don't know what's happened recently, but I've been losing a lot of gunfights with this gun, so I put advanced rifling on it, and I seem to be smashing people back like I was at the start of the game. So just having that extra damage at distance can be really beneficial when you are coming head-to-head with someone. You've got to make sure you're accurate, you've got to make sure you're landing your shots, and you've got to make sure the damage counts, which is why I'll run those attachments. I think the lens sights could be beneficial if you're looking for a sight. Lens sight or reflex probably do the job. I can't really say I prefer any one over the other. I'll probably usually go with the reflex sight as long as I can get a custom reticule on it. Just don't really like the one that you get by default with it. High caliber, obviously great. If you hit someone in the head, bam, they're gone out the picture very quickly. Steady aim is probably the only attachment you're not really going to get much use out of. That and maybe the 4x optic. If you're not really a fan of the 4x optic in general, probably not going to find much to go with this one unless you play like a hardcore game mode. I don't think you're really going to have much to use out of that. FMJ is an attachment that I feel like would be very good for this gun, but I haven't found too much practicality for it. But the benefits of it are obviously very self-explanatory. The extra bullet penetration is obviously going to be great. And extended mags, again, I don't think you need them, but still going to have benefits for you if you don't really want to reload. Maybe if you're finding the reload is a little bit sluggish, but I don't think it's that slow. You could stick extended mags on so you don't have to reload as fast. Or maybe your accuracy is not that great and you're finding you're expending a lot of your bullets very quickly. You could go with extend mags. Then I'll usually just stick on a secondary like a machine pistol. And grenade, I'll try and put a grenade on, but I'm very terrible at remembering to change my classes, so I'll usually just put on a frag grenade or a sticky grenade or whatever floats your boat. Maybe if you're playing a bit more defensive, put an S mine onto the class. In general, you can play with this class however you want. If you want to play a bit more passive and pick people off at distance, the fact that you have advanced rifling and rapid fire means you can pick people off so quickly, and with the grip as well. Very good at distance. And then if you get close and personal, especially with rapid fire attachment on it, people are going to get melted very quickly. I wouldn't go head-to-head with a PPSH, though. You're going to probably find that the PPSH outdoes you at that range. But in general, very versatile gun, a very solid gun at that, and one that I enjoy using a lot. So if you're looking for a new go-to class, maybe you were using the STG-44 before, you were using the bar, and you're finding that the gun is not quite doing it for you after the most recent nerfs to them, the STG is definitely a way to go. It's very reliable, very solid in all areas of gameplay. It's going to help you out a lot, and I think it's definitely worth sticking on, because even if you don't have all the attachments unlocked in it, and you want to run a mounting class that is going to help you stay hidden from enemy score streaks, maybe you're in one of those lobbies where things aren't going your way, you can stick this on, and then maybe the two attachments I would go with, probably grip, and if I was really pushed for one, maybe quick draw, just because you unlock them so early. Advanced rifling is actually the one that you unlock last, and rapid fire is third from last that you unlock, so you don't really have to get much time into the STG to actually get a lot out of it, in my opinion. So definitely give this gun a look. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did miss the actual gun in 60 seconds video and you want to check it out, feel free to go and check it out. The link will be in the description and annotation on the screen. The next video we'll be doing is the PPSH, which is a very strong gun right at this moment in time, and I'm looking forward to that one. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you for the next one. Peace out.